Hi everyone, my name is Aurelia. You are at Silent Lipstick. Welcome to my channel. Today it is time once again for the Boxycharm unboxing, which is why I have nothing on my face at the moment. Boxycharm is a monthly subscription service that puts out a box of full-size products. There's usually about 4 to 5 full-size products. It charges you monthly $21.99. I always really enjoy my Boxycharm boxes. I've gotten a lot of really great products from it, both from known brands and unknown brands. So I am a huge fan of this subscription service. I love it. I have so much fun every time I get my Boxycharm. I'm so excited to see what's in there. And then of course I open it up with you guys and I try on the products so that you can kind of see my first impressions, see how they perform initially, and I can talk you through my thoughts. So that is what today's video is all about. Let's dive into the box. So as you can see, I have already opened it because I needed to know what I had to wear, and as it turns out, since I've got a base product in here, I have nothing on my face. First thing is the Cover FX Blurring Primer, and I was super excited when I saw the teasers for this on Instagram because I have been using my Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer for the most part now for almost or maybe even over a year, and I'm getting really super bored with it. So I was going to go out and buy another primer. When I saw that this was coming, I said, no, I'm gonna wait. And so I will be trying this out for you today. I am super excited. This particular product is valued at $38 USD. So that is a really great deal. You've already gotten your box back and more. The next product that I have are, well, I'm gonna go ahead and pull both of these out because they're considered two separate here. The Aesthetica 3-piece eye trio. I still have it in the wrapping. It's a 3-piece eye trio. It looks like it's got a spoolie, a fine lining brush, and an angled brush. So this is all so that you can kind of do your brows or do around, do liner on your eyes. And then they also sent this P12 face brush. And the P12 face brush retails for $27. The trio retails for $45, so quite pricey brushes. I've never heard of Aesthetica. What I can see so far is that this angled brush, it may work for brows. It is kind of sizable. And then we've got a spoolie, which it's always good to have spoolies available because I use a spoolie for like mascara repair, either when I've gotten it on my lids and I need to kind of scrape it off after it's dried, or if I need it to help separate or anything like that. And then you've got this fine liner brush, which I haven't used a brush for my eyeliner in a long time. I might be a little out of practice, but I like having a brush like that. I like having that option available. And then we received this fluffy face brush, and it is very fluffy. It's very loose. It's not very tightly packed. So this, I imagine, is going to be used for like applying some sort of a powder or maybe brushing off powder. If you bake, we will see how it goes with the brush. The next product is a lip gloss, and this is from the brand Han. Healthy and Natural. So is it Han or H-A-N? Well, I'm assuming it's Han. It is an all-natural lip gloss. It has antioxidants and vitamins. Let's see if we have the shade name here. This shade is a really pretty kind of like berry color. It is called Raspberry Chardonnay. It just looks like a very nice wearable pink, and it is a gloss. I don't think it's a lipstick, but we'll see when we try it on how opaque it is, how well it wears. So this particular product is currently retailing for $15. And then I also received this gel liner from Pretty Vulgar, and the packaging is so cool. I love this packaging. It's got a feather on there. It has Pretty Vulgar. You have Pretty Vulgar on the lid here, and this is the most unique packaging because it's a twist top. It's like old school, it's like an old school black bottle container. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to keep the container because I love stuff like this. It looks like an inkwell almost. That's what it reminds me of. This is a gel liner. It is called the Ink Gel Liner. It has been a long time since I've worn a gel liner, so hopefully I don't jack up my eyes. But anyway, this retails for $24 and it has vitamin C, so it's supposed to help condition the lid. So we will see how well that goes. The last product that came in the box is this palette here from Pure. It is called the Sculptor palette. It is a highlight and contour palette. And I have not opened this yet, so I have no idea what these shades look like. Let me see if I can get this opened. I just recently got new nails and I'm still getting used to how to function with them. And I apologize if you can hear that knocking sound. I'm having to do laundry and I have something that's got some hardware on it in the dryer, and so it is making a lot of clanking noise. And yeah, sorry about that. And I just realized I don't have my lights on behind me, so we're gonna have a little change of scenery here in just a moment. Finally got the tape off of that little guy, and we have got 4 products, 4 pans in this palette. You have 2 contour shades, you've got 2 highlighter shades. The palette itself comes with a mirror, which is nice. Now, on first impression, I think that these are a little bit too dark, the 2 contour shades. These blend out really nicely, but I'm afraid that this darker one has a potential to look really, really muddy on me. So we'll see how well that works out. The highlighter, on the other hand, is very creamy. It is a little bit powdery, but it's a really, really pretty gold. And I swatched this one here. And then the other highlighter that comes in this palette is more of a champagne shade. So one is more of like a pale gold champagne and one of them is a deeper gold. They look really, really pretty. So I'm excited to try those out. We'll see how well that works out for us. This little palette retails for $30. So we've got a pretty pricey little Boxycharm here. I'll tally up the price here in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and come in closer and start trying these products out for you. I'm going to get started with the Cover FX Blurring Primer. It comes nice and sealed. This is interesting. It is very, very thick. It reminds me of the Dr. Brandt Pores No More and how it feels and how it's going onto the skin. It is very slick. I don't know if this has any kind of silicone. Well, they don't say on the packaging. It feels like it has some silicone in it, some silicone type products, which for me, silicone has always worked really well for my face. It doesn't have a scent that I can tell, but you know, it is doing a good job of blurring things out. I am noticing that. So pressing it in to those areas where I've got a lot of pore action going on. I'm gonna go and put my foundation on. I will be right back. And I forgot that they gave me a spoolie and also what could be used as an eyebrow brush. Truth be told, I prefer my brow brushes to have the spoolie on the end, so I likely will not use this the way that they intended, but I will use that today to see if I can do an eyeliner. It's a lot thicker than I'm used to working with, so we'll see. But what I have done is I have placed a little bit of eyeshadow into my crease, and I've added a really, you know, glimmery, shimmery kind of eyeshadow on my lid. I'm going to keep it simple today, and I want to dip into these 2 shades here and see if I can maybe do a little bit more definition in my eye or on my lid. And it is working pretty decently at that. I didn't get a whole lot. I didn't pick up a whole lot. Just enough to give me a little bit more shadow in that spot. And I'm just using a fluffy blender brush very gently, applying that onto the eyes to help bring a little bit more contouring. And also it will help to blend out that glittery shadow. Let's go in with this fine tip brush. I'm going to go into the Pretty Vulgar liner and let me give you a better view of that packaging. I mean, it is stunning. I love that. It just looks like a little inkwell. I think it's so cute. So let's dive in nervously because it has been a long time since I have done a gel liner. Let me go ahead and do a quick swatch for you. It's pretty pigmented stuff and it is a matte, so keep your fingers crossed that I'm okay. It's doing a pretty decent job of giving me a nice little sharp wing there. I am getting a really nice little flick on the end there, and it does dry matte, so that's really super cool, and it dries quickly. That happened really nicely and easily. Let's hope that the other eye will go the same. You have to be careful because you might overload your brush. Wow, I like that. I'm getting such a nice sharp little flick there with this brush. So that's winning points with me already. Not bad, not a bad little duo here. This brush is really nice. I like it. It was really easy to work with. It was really easy for me to get a really pretty tiny little wing. Love it. I love that. I think that that's awesome. Now, because I want to use as many of these products as possible, I'm going to go in again, and I'm going to go with this brown shade right here, this contour shade, and I'm going to take this slanted brush, and then I am going to stamp it onto the black liner. What I do not like about this already, at least as far as using it for helping to do some lining on your eyes, is that it is very thick. It's not a thin brush, so I would say don't use it unless you want to get a really kind of smudgy line. So I'm not mad at the fact that it's a little bit thick, but if you're all about precision liner, this is going to drive you nuts. I'm also going to apply a little bit of this contour shadow to my lower lids, just because I feel like I need a little bit of something under there, and I'm actually going to not use a darker one. I'm going to use this shade right here, which is called Inventor. They do have shade names. The one that I've been using, the deeper brown or deeper contour that I've been using, is called Founder. But anyway, so I'm just taking a little bit of that and I'm just putting it onto the lower lid, just to give my eyes a little bit of definition, to give my eyes a little bit of definition. I guess I should have used this brush for that. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, this does actually work really nicely to smudge out your lower lid. I think that will likely be how I'm going to use this brush, is I will use it to apply the lower shadows, because it's the perfect size for that. Now I'm going to put on some mascara and I will be back to contour and highlight. Okay, so I have gotten all of my eye products on. I've gotten my mascara. I put some lashes on. Let's go ahead and move on to cheeks. I'm going to start out with the contour shades. I am going to start out with this one right here, this one in Inventor, just because it is the lightest of the two shades, and I think that the other is going to be way too dark for me. I'm going to go in with my NARS Ita brush, and let's see, let's keep our fingers crossed that even that lighter shade is not going to be too dark. And it's not. It's actually quite natural. I like that. It blends beautifully. So it looks a lot darker in the pan, I think, than it actually is. Although I am getting a pretty intense little contour from it just off the bat, but it's not too dark for me. Thank goodness. I was a little bit worried. So I'm gonna go in and actually I'm gonna use my actual nose contour brush. Oh goodness, I hope that blends away. Well, note to self, this contour shadow, this contour is very deep. Almost looked like I lost a little bit of my foundation right there. And you need to make sure to tap that sucker off, but even still, it's gonna be really dark. Kind of feel like I've lost foundation right in those two spots. That's weird. And I'm just gonna tap that with my beauty sponge and tone that down just a touch. There we go. They blend away very nicely, but they are super pigmented, so you're gonna have to watch out for that. Gonna do some blush really fast. I am gonna use this brush right here and see how well it applies blush. Hopefully it doesn't go everywhere. I'm going to go in with this peachy shade right here. I like it for blush. This is good for blush. I like it. Next comes highlight, my most favorite part. So I think for highlight, I'm gonna go in with, I think I wanna go in with this guy right here, which is the deeper, more champagne shade. It is called Trailblazer. I'm gonna use my Morphe M510. That is very, very shimmery. It is emphasizing the texture that I have going on right there. It is very powdery compared to a lot of the other highlighters that I have. It's not nearly as creamy. It is a little bit glittery. Yeah, I can definitely see the texture on my face from this highlighter. You guys can't see it on camera, but I can definitely see it here. I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of this other shade called Originator. And I'm just gonna apply that to the top. Oh, goodness. Holy, oh my gosh. That one is super pigmented. Now this one is actually a little bit better. It's not emphasizing the texture nearly as much. Holy macanoli, I am glowing. So yeah, there's quite a bit of powderiness to it. It's not as bad as its counterpart as far as showing off the texture. It's a little bit better than that one in that respect. All right, once again, going in, I'm gonna tap that on to tone it down just a touch. The next product that we're going to be trying is this lip gloss. This is from Han. Han stands for healthy and natural, and it's supposed to be organic. I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of a brown liner, and this one is called Absolutely It. It is a MAC liner, and that's just to kind of keep things under control. I mean, it is a gloss that I don't know, so I'm not sure if it's gonna wanna travel outside of my lip line. So let me go ahead and do a real quick swatch for you guys. Oh, it's pretty pigmented. It smells like vanilla. And I think that the lip liner is actually a pretty good matte. It kind of has an interesting thin consistency. It's not a bad consistency, it's just, it's thin and oily. It almost feels a little bit oily. Not bad, I do like it. It's a nice shade, it's a good everyday shade. On my hand, I do see it bleeding out a little bit on the, on the fine lines that I have on my hand. I'm glad that I went in with a lip liner because that could have been happening on my face. Okay, I don't think I got enough blush on. Now I'm thinking that maybe that brush isn't so good at applying blush because I see nothing between my highlighter and my contour. So I'm gonna go in with an actual blush brush and put a little bit more blush on. Yeah, so that brush did not do so well as a blush brush. It kind of looked deceiving, but then when I put my highlighter on, I'm like, something's missing here. Let's go ahead and do a quick rundown. I'm gonna start out with the Cover FX Blurring Primer, and I like it. I think that my foundation actually went on really well over it as I was applying it earlier. I don't know how it's gonna do as far as helping to keep the oils at bay. That's gonna take a little bit of time. Okay, so the brushes, this brush, not good for blush like I initially thought, but it may be good for powder. I think it will actually be very, very good for powder. So I have yet another powder brush. I didn't get to try out the spoolie, but I mean, a spoolie is a spoolie is a spoolie. I think that this will work fine. The fine liner brush, which is this little guy right here, love it. It made putting on my liner so easy and creating a small wing super easy. I really, really like it. I will continue using it. This slanted brush, I think I found a purpose for it. It will be now one of my key brushes for applying shadow onto my lower lash line because it fits perfectly. It applies the exact amount of shadow that you need right there for that space, at least for my eyes, you know, the size of my eyes. I like this brush. I am not disappointed in either of these two. The Pretty Vulgar gel eyeliner, I love this stuff. It is matte. It is not going anywhere. It doesn't have the same kind of thickness or viscosity that like the Maybelline gel liner has. It's a little bit more dry, not quite as jelly-like. This one strikes me as being kind of jelly-like, But that being said, it is matte. It dries very, very fast down to a matte finish, which I love. I much prefer having a matte liner than a shiny liner. The Pure Sculptor, I like the fact that the palette is got a mirror. That's always a bonus. I think that the shades of this contour palette are a little bit too deep. If you're fair skinned and you receive your Boxycharm, you're gonna have a tough time with this guy because it is very, very deep. I don't know if they're sending out different shades to people. I've never taken a profile, so they don't really know, I don't think, what kind of skin tone I have. This guy up here, which is the shade Inventor. It's a nice shade for my skin tone. It works for me. I have to be really, really careful though because it is very, very pigmented and it is a little bit on the deep side. The highlighters, the champagne shade called Trailblazer, which is this one down here, did not apply as well. It was a little bit chalky. It was a little bit powdery, and it emphasized the texture up here around my eyes. This top one here called the Originator, that one is lovely. It is beautiful, but it is a very, very, very pigmented. So you need to watch out for this little guy unless you want that high, high shine. Now for the lip gloss. On my hand, it has spread into all of my wrinkles of my hand. I mean, I can see it just kind of seeping out. It does not dry down, so it is a gloss. I'm really, really happy that I put some lip liner down because it is preventing it from moving outside of my lips. I can see it trying, but it's not. So thankfully the lip liner is keeping things in place. I would say you definitely need to use a liner with this because otherwise it's going to be seeping out and it's not going to be pretty. I don't think that this lip gloss is going to fade anytime soon. I have to use it definitely with a lip liner. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to be all over the place. I can see that it's trying. So that's everything that I had in this month's Boxycharm. I promised you a total. This month's box came in at a whopping $179. And I think it's because it is their birthday box. I forgot to talk about that. You get this card. Last time we got a fold-out card. Maybe they were doing a pilot, to see what people would say about it. We're back to the postcard. And this month's theme is Boxy Bash, but it's because they are celebrating their birthday. I think it's their 5th birthday. They included an extra product as a kind of like a happy birthday to us kind of deal. This month was outstanding. I just want to make sure that you understand though that that's not normal. They just included an extra product this month because it's their birthday. Overall, I mean, I paid $21.99 for this box. I got $179 worth of product. That's really good. On average though, just to set the right expectation, if you're new to Boxycharm and you're new to my channel, on average the boxes tend to be between $125 to $140. Would I buy these products? I don't think so. Honestly, maybe the primer, but I have to see how well it performs throughout the day, and maybe even the liner alongside that little fine lining brush. I think those two make a great pair. I don't know about the contour palette. I may or may not. I've got a lot of different bronzers and contours that I like a lot more than this one, and I also have highlighters that I like more. The lip gloss, you got to be very careful with it. It's moving around quite a bit. I can tell on my lips. I really can. All right, everybody. That's all that I had today for my Boxycharm unboxing and try on. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow me on social media. All of it is linked in the description bar down below. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.